with TrueDFS, and I am going to be filling in for the familiar faces of Bobby Fi and Sheets to go over this really early look at tonight's NBA slate. I start the video with the full disclaimer that I am not an NBA guy per se, but I am a projections guy, which I think is similar to Sheets' approach, but not Bobby's. So it'll be a little bit different and probably a bit abridged today, but I'm going to do what I can to at least give some content and go over the slate. And if you like what you see with what I do on SaberSim and Goldie's projections, keep in mind that you can get Goldie's projections, Sheets projections, and access the SaberSim through us at TrueDFS.com. It also includes premium content, premium Discord, and just a lot of other info and help with making you a really sharp DFS player and a better. We've got Bobby's NBA bets that are really sharp and performing really well. So it is something to consider as you go through this and see how we use Goldie's projections to build some lineups for tonight's NBA slate. And it also comes with that full disclaimer that because it's so early in the day, do one of those Wayne's World things of where we fast forward or something and move to 10 minutes before lock, and we've got at least what we think is all of the NBA news that we need, and we're ready to go. So, early in the day content, the no ball takes of Bobby, who's like an expert in the NBA, are really valuable because he's got an idea of who has maybe a questionable tag that may be more meaningful than one where the guy's definitely going to play. And I'm much less aware of that. But the only thing I do want to say is if you look at the slate timing, there's only one game at lock. It's only Detroit and Denver. And then everything else is at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then a kind of a quasi late night hammer with Phoenix here at 8 Central. So the news that comes is going to all be post-lock. So this is going to be a really important late swap slate because whatever you have at 6, if you have Detroit and Denver guys, or if you don't, you're really going to want to be looking ahead and starting this slate at 6:30, swapping your lineups into better ones. But that being said, we could still take a look. I mean, Detroit and Denver do have some Q tags. I don't know how meaningful these are, but if Aaron Gordon and Westbrook don't play, and, I don't think Schroeder affects things that much. He's only projected for 18 minutes, but if, guys like Gordon and Westbrook are out, that may open some Denver value. So it is something to be on the lookout for. But if it isn't the case that you're playing Detroit or Denver guys, then you're really starting the slate at 6:30. So keep an eye on the news throughout the day. And that's another great reason to join us in Discord. And you could access that again at TrueDFS.com. And more great content like this from the experts that I'm filling in for with just a like and subscribe to these videos. So what I went ahead and did is I uploaded Goldie's projections for his fantasy points and ownership. And then I'm just going to run 5,000 lineups. And I don't really see any reason to have a minimum salary, although it is NBA. I mean, maybe there is a reason. Maybe, with NBA, projection matters so much, and you don't want to leave that much on the table in NBA. We could actually boost that to like 4,900, just so we don't get that many complete garbage lineups that we're not going to play. And so I'm going to build 5,000 and see what we get to. And this is kind of meaningless because we want to simulate against contests, and SaberSim lets you do that. So I'm going to just go while that builds and get the simulations ready. So let's simulate the flagship DFS contest on DraftKings. And then let's do like a single entry kind of thing. So where's a max single entry? And this is like a good price point, $12, 390 people. think a lot of people might be playing that type of lineup. So let's run those two contest simulations. If you're new to this, what the contest simulation is doing is it's saying, okay, you have all these lineups and they may look good, they may not, you don't know. But if you knew what everyone else was doing, then you would know. Because you might see that, well, they're playing Jokic at too high a rate, or they have this combination of, Jokic and a spend down, or two of the value spend downs at too high a rate or too low a rate. And so the lineups that you have can leverage off of that information. And so that's why we may make a prediction of what the other people are going to do in the contest and then simulate that contest out as if it were live. And so that's what we'll do here, and we'll see how our lineups differ from the flagship using Goldie's projections and for that low stake single entry, that $12. Take a little while here. Usually SaberSim is laser fast. But it is still processing. Let's see what happens. Sorry about the delay. Let's see what happens if we just refresh, loading. SaberSim lets me down at the worst times. It's such a lightning fast, almost perfect product. And then when we run a video, we get the slowdown. Let's try this again. If we don't get it going this time, we'll hand build. We'll see what we can do with hand building using Goldie's projections. We get the 5,000 pretty quick. Let's see if we can run. Let's for anyone going all out, it won't be me, but if you are, you can throw in that 888 in there. All right, we've got 5,000 lineups. Loading, processing. There we go. Something hit a snag there. I apologize. Let's run our simulation against those contests. Let's just see what we get to. And, again, fast forward and imagine we're 10 minutes before lock. We've got the news. We've got the most up-to-date and sharpest projections. This is how I'm going to do things. This is very similar to how Sheets does things. He uploads his projections. He runs the sim. He uploads them. And then, as is always the case with the NBA, you get ready to swap as the news hits. And this is going to be, I don't know if there's a ton of news that we're looking out for, but the news is going to really be impactful when it hits because there's only one game at 6 and everything else is throughout the night. And if there's news in this late night game, that is always crucial. So let's look at the flagship. And let's say we were maxing out the flagship. Where are we getting right now at 11:30 Central? Carlo Makovic, 60%, 4,500. You need that value to get up to something, I assume. Let's see. A lot of middling builds. Booker is our highest owned guy in the 8K range. Trae Young is our highest owned guy in the 9K range, 32%. Let's see the highest projected guys on the slate, what we're getting to. Jokic, Cunningham, Shea, Towns. Very little. In this early look, there is just not a lot of value yet, is what that says to me. When the value opens up, you tend to use the value to get to the spend ups. Tough to get to them as of now. But as is the case in the NBA, things will change a whole lot. let's see what happens. Let's see in a single entry what our top lineup is. We're only playing one. So let's see what our top lineup looks like. Yeah, you get the Megafish, but the highest priced player is 8,800. And you get Scotty Barnes at 8,600. So if we were to lock now on DraftKings using Goldie's projections, a pretty middling build for our single entry. Using all the salary, let's see, we can expect if everyone does exactly what we think they will, they won't. We could expect a huge ROI. You know, I think we got a pretty good edge using Goldie stuff and these pretty accurate sims, and we can expect 5-10% ROIs post lock. It's always important to check post lock how you did, and you could do that in SaberSim. So remember to like, subscribe, check out TrueDFS and those packages. Let's see for the high stakes stuff what kind of lineup we might play. Atlanta OKC. You still get the Collins and the Makovic. Now you're getting Trey. 385. That would be nice. ROI to get in the 888. I mean, this is kind of cool. Atlanta OKC. I mean, OKC, if you could keep up with them, and Trey might do that, and I don't know, maybe get an overtime game. Who knows? But that's all for my early look. This is exactly what I would do, and this is exactly what I will do. I'm gonna play tonight just because I'm filling in, and this is exactly how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take all these projections right before lock. I'm gonna load them up. I'm gonna simulate against the contest I decide to play, and I'm gonna enter it, and then at 625, I'm gonna late swap against the ownership of the level contest I'm playing in. And I'm going to do it at 6:55 Central. And if I got anything left for that late night hammer, I'm swapping whatever spots I need to. So if my lineups are not doing well, I'll probably have some low owned, dart throws, praying for a miracle. And if my lineups are doing well, I'll probably have some high projected stuff to change to block people or just get the highest projection I can to leverage the good results I got earlier in the night. So that's all. Remember to check out TrueDFS.com, like and subscribe, join us in Discord, get more of the paywall premium content. If you have any questions for me on my process and how I use the Sims, come join us and ask or leave a comment below. Thanks a lot. And